Afternoon, everybody. Yes, you saw that correctly. I am feeding hay. Hard to believe we've had so much rain this spring and summer. The grass growth has never been better, but I royally messed up my schedule, my plan for the herd this year. And so I'm paying for it now, on top of the fact that I very much underestimated the amount of feed that this 2-acre farm field, this 2-acre field of planted annuals was going to give me. So moving them from there over to this 2.5-acre planted or 2-acre planted farm field. And at the time I had high hopes. I was very much talking about getting hopefully 60 days out of this. Why I thought I could get 60 days out of this, I have no idea. Why I even thought I could get 30 days out of it, I have no idea. And while this has been a great year for the cool season forages, nice mild temperatures, lots of rainfall, it actually was a horrible year for summer annuals, for the warm season forages, which obviously is what I plant in here. I had good ground cover. It was very thick, but the stuff just never got very tall. Dude, I would say the majority of this stuff didn't even break a foot. I planted 2 species for their protein. Again, what I was planting was for energy. The whole idea was to finish the 2 steers that are going to the butcher this year on planted annuals, high energy, essentially replacing any sort of grain supplementation that you would give your animals going to the butcher, that last 60 to 90 days to add fat. You're replacing that with grass. And so that is a grass finished beef. They also needed protein, and obviously the whole herd was on here, which was another mistake. I really just should have put the 2, even with just the 2 steers that are going to the butcher this year. I maybe would have got 30 days, but putting the whole dang herd of 11 animals plus 2 calves just was way too much. I planted common vetch and mung beans, which if you look, they did not touch the mung beans. So mung beans are great for protein. Common vetch is great for protein. I think the common vetch, because it's a very kind of low growing species, it just got competed out. Like I said, it still was very thick in here. It just wasn't very tall. So unfortunately, the common vetch never really got a chance to explode because it got crowded out by everything else. But they didn't touch the mung beans. I don't think I saw them eat one mung bean. And even now, when this is dang near empty, and it has been for a while, they still are not eating the mung beans. So I don't know if it was a maturity thing. The mung beans got too mature and they just became not palatable, or my herd just straight up doesn't like mung beans. But I was supplementing with cattle cubes very, very early. And when I say early, guys, within 9 days, I realized that they had already flown through this pasture and everything that they really were wanting to take. I knew right away that they were not eating any of the mung beans, which were giving them protein. So the manure was stacking up really, really tall. I had to start supplementing with cattle cubes. So also working against me at almost the exact same time was the fact that I moved them in here at the start of the breeding season. Hey, real quick, guys, this was the biggest mistake in the entire schedule. What I should have done was the cows should have started on the very first pasture of the home ranch, which again would have been 2.5-acre pastures or the 4-acre lease next door at the start of the breeding season. That way, they would have had plenty of opportunity and plenty of time to graze after breeding. If they needed to be rebred, they would have been here, and the haul withdrawal window of not hauling the cattle too soon after breeding would not have mattered, because they would have had essentially 9 acres of perennial pasture to work through, plus this 2-acre planted annual field. However, I brought the cows home early, long before the breeding season, and they worked through every pasture except for this 2-acre planted field before breeding happened. So by the time that they were done with breeding, the only thing I had left at home was this 2-acre planted annual field, which obviously did not last me long enough. So everything is AI'd here on this ranch. 5 females went to the breeder this year, and the plan was, in my head, to take the females to the breeder, move everyone into this paddock. You know, cows come back into heat every 18 to 21 days. So I knew at the very least, I wanted to keep them on here through about 21 days, because that way, any of the 5 females that weren't successfully bred, I was right next to the house. I still had my alleyways set up. I still had all my working facilities set up. I could run the cows back up to the barn, get them loaded, and take them back to the breeder for a rebreed. What the biggest issue there is, you may or may not know, when it comes to artificial insemination, when it comes to breeding in general, whether you're using natural service with a bull, whether you're AIing, you really have they call it kind of that haul withdrawal. So you have a no haul time period, because working cattle, loading them up, putting them on a trailer, taking them to possibly new areas they've never been to before, this all stresses cattle out. And the last thing you want when you're trying to successfully hang on to any positive conception from that AI or from the encounters with the bull is to stress your females out. So they say at a very minimum, mama, don't walk on your food. At a bare minimum, you have to give them 30 days. 45 days is better, and I consider 45 days kind of the minimum. And then 60 days is really best. So because the girls that were successfully bred, which was 3 of them, aren't even gonna hit that 30-day window until they've got another 5 days. Another 5 days out here before they're at 30 days. And then obviously, you know, another 20 days essentially until they're at that 45 day, which is kind of my minimum. So I needed to tide these girls over. The female that I took back, it was the youngest heifer, 2-year-old heifer. This was her first time getting bred. She went back for a rebreed. I obviously didn't want to bring her back here because now she's 20 days essentially behind the rest of the herd. Her 30-day withdrawal period or 45-day withdrawal period is now behind another 20 days. So what I needed to do then was I needed to take that female and everyone else who could be hauled up the road, and they went up to that 16-acre lease to start on fall pasture. So they are up there. They are starting to graze through fall pasture. In this paddock, back on the home ranch, eating hay and protein supplements and costing me money because of my poor planning, is 3 females. 2 are cows that are nursing right now. So their 2 calves are here. 1 heifer standing over there. She was successfully bred, or at least she didn't come back into heat. And then I've got the 2 steers that are going this year. The steers are staying here. I contemplated taking them up the road. I've got one right here in front of me, and the other is the red guy back there. I contemplated taking them up the road with the rest of the herd and actually getting them on quality forages. I don't have 60 to 90 days worth of quality finishing that these 2 steers are going to need. There's plenty of clover up there. There's plenty of cool season forages, lots of protein for them, but they don't need protein right now. They just need, they need protein, but just a little bit. What these 2 dudes really need is some energy. So I have a whole new plan and a whole new path that I'm going down with these 2 steers that I did not ever consider doing before, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to do it this year. I will talk about that in another video. This field is going to be replanted in cereal ryegrass. That will help. Cereal ryegrass is going to be a nightmare to deal with next year, next spring, when it comes time to plant this back into whatever I choose. I'm going to have to change plans on this again. But you know what? I'm going to deal with that cereal rye residual nightmare next year. I really do need another 2 acres of thick, lush forages when the herd comes back from fall pasture to help me buy time getting into winter where I don't have to feed hay. That's going to be most important. Once I decide on what's going to happen and or everyone goes up the road and it's just the steers, I'll make another video to explain to you guys how I'm totally changing plans for those steers this year. So thanks for watching. Questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, you know the drill, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Oh yeah, and when it rains, it pours. On top of the 2 separate herds of cows that I get to have fun with, I've got 1 batch of 50 chickens that needs to go out to pasture. However, Tomorrow, there's very good chance of high wind events and up to 2 inches of rain. So I'm electing to keep them in the brooder for the next couple days. But you know what else comes tomorrow? The next batch of 50 chicks. So these guys, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do with the new guys. I'm trying to figure that one out. That being said, if anybody is looking for pasture-raised chicken in the Des Moines metro area, September 11th is when this first group of 50 is gonna be processed and ready for sale. So hit me up, let me know. Some of you already have, thank you for that. Anyone who's interested in it, let me know.